Look up, Q. Say cheese.
What's going on, everybody? It's Q Jackson, host of BLK Talk. Look, I was over here preparing for another amazing episode, but look, I need you guys to go ahead and hit the subscribe button, the like button, and the notification bell so that you guys don't miss any of our amazing conversations. Have a new episode coming to you in 5, 4, 3, 2.
What's going on, everybody? It's Q Jackson, host of BLK Talk. I am back with another amazing and hopefully inspiring episode with an amazing individual who is a singer-songwriter, a pastor, an accomplished interdisciplinarian.
Yes,
I'll have the definition of interdisciplinarian in the comments section, and author of this brand new piece of greatness entitled Today's and Tomorrow's. Welcome to BLK Talk, Mr. Levi W.
I cannot deal. I was trying to hold it.
Welcome to the show, Levi W.
Yes, indeed, Mr. Q. My God.
William Wexley. I'm gonna get that W after this conversation.
Levi Wesley. That's hilarious. Levi William. Nah. Anyway, what's up, brother?
Hey, Walter.
Walter. No.
Oh.
Levi Walter?
Yeah.
No, that doesn't even flow.
It's quite possible. People who have grandparents that are from Florida.
This is true.
Their names.
True.
Tend to be
This
Walter.
is true.
Winston Wesley.
Winston. I would pick Winston.
Levi
Winston. That's like a
something
good cologne.
strong.
Yeah.
A cologne. Oh.
I don't know.
Baby, give me that Winston for
Let
Christmas.
me get that Levi Winston.
Oh, now Levi Winston. That
That's
was
what I'm saying.
else.
Levi Winston.
Nah, that sounds like a cigarette.
I mean, that's
A
what
good
some
one.
people like.
A good cigar. Okay,
That's
I will go with a cigar.
That's hilarious.
But welcome to BLK Talk. How are you?
I'm great, man. Couldn't be better. Thank you for having me, man.
Thank you for being here. I mean, you're out here. You're busy. You are doing the Lord's work, taking care of the people. But you made time.
Hiya.
You made time to come talk about everything that you have going on.
Absolutely.
Which
man.
is a lot, guys. Just in
lot.
case you didn't, catch it
No,
from
for
that
real,
intro.
for real. I told Q, I said, man, today's been a day, but God is faithful.
All right,
That means he's faithful.
Is that faithful?
This means he's good.
Sign language?
This means he's faithful.
So if y'all see me, if I'm at an event and y'all see me like this, either I'm about to roll up out of here or I'm feeling like God is good.
He's good.
Okay.
That's insane. That's insane. But no, all is well, man. Glad to be here. Proud of what you're doing and who you are. For engaging in beneficial conversations. Because there's a lot of conversations, but everything's not beneficial. So I'm grateful, thankful for the opportunity. And I'm glad to be here, man, as Levi Winston. I'm glad to be here.
But you know what? I'm glad that you are, though, that, you made time. Because I believe in having conversations that inspire, encourage, educate. And you inspire, you encourage, you educate, like you do all of this stuff. And you're, giving people tips and tricks or tips and tools, not tricks.
Because tricks are for kids.
Exactly, and we ain't no trick. But you're giving people tools to be better versions of themselves.
For sure.
Not just with this, but with everything that you do. Whether it's music, ministry, whether it's, authoring.
Listen.
Whatever it is, that is you. So do me a favor. Tell me a little bit about like your background and what got you to where you are right now.
Yeah, there's so many ways I can go with that, but I'll say this.
Picture it.
Right. Life was a struggle.
Oh.
Single parent home, lights turned off. I remember, y'all, it's a crazy story. I remember moments where we would go visit new homes and we would leave a window open. So that way when the realtor stopped showing us the home later on that night, we could cross the window and take a shower.
Wow.
I just want to give context. So that, I can go further, but that kind of gives context.
That's a hell of a start.
Right. So life wasn't picture perfect. Yeah. And to be quite honest, I get irritable sometimes because people look at me, they see my successes, #1 books, traveling the world, different things, and they think I've always been this person. Perhaps internally, intellectually, spiritually, whatever. But I am a real dude. I know what it's like to go to Checkers, and this is a real story, because our lights were cut off, to go get a chicken sandwich and some other stuff and put it in a cooler because we didn't want to open the freezer because we were afraid our food was going to go bad. Mm-hmm. And hopefully it'll keep its energy for 2 or 3, 4 days until we get the lights turned back on. So, saying that to say, when life presents you tragedy, I turned it into a strategy.
Okay.
And that's what cultivated my life. Plenty of down days, plenty of sick days, plenty of woe it's me days. And at some point it's like, okay, I didn't put myself in trauma. I didn't put myself in trouble. So perhaps God is trusting me with trouble. And if you're trusting me with trouble, it's easy to be trusted with a big stage. Oh, I'm going to perform. Oh, it's easy to be trusted with, oh, here's $10,000, perform. But let me trust you with zero. Not zero, let me trust you with negative and see what you can do. So all of my empowerment, my music, my messages is me digging out of a hole I didn't put myself in. Not for me just to get out, but to show somebody else how to get out. So in other words, I've been trusted with trouble. I've been trusted with holes. I've been trusted with trauma. Not because I brought it to myself, but to be an example of when you come out, you're going to tell somebody else how to do the same.
So you were trusted with all those negative T's in order to turn those negative T's into the most positive T out here. Absolutely. Which is, you're supposed to know this. Testimony.
Hope. There you go.
Right. There you Come on. What's up?
Yeah, and it's not a bad thing. Like, I don't even want that to be like, oh, no, it's perspective. Mm-hmm. Bad is a perspective. Good is a perspective. I never saw trouble as bad. Let me not say that. Hold on. So essentially, initially, because it throws you off, you think of it as bad. But then you realize, oh, this is not trouble. It's an opportunity.
Yeah.
And I think that extends your life, that extends your perspective, and it matures you.
The other thing, come on, you're missing a piece.
Your testimony, your
not
purpose.
Your purpose.
Yes, your purpose.
And the reason that I say purpose, and that is a strong word, if you understand what it means and your life is on that level. Because a lot of things that you go through, you may sit there and you wonder, like, darn. Shucks. Why is that happening? Why is that happening to
me? Right.
But when you get to a space where you realize the purpose of your life, you're going to realize that parts of your story and your journey are going to come out. Yes. And you're going to be, in a way, forced unexpectedly to share it with somebody else. And it's going to happen like at the most unexpected moments. It's going to help them to get out of those situations. So you are a purposed, testimony-driven individual.
Absolutely. And what you just said is key. It initially comes off as unexpected. But then when you realize that's who you're called and purposed to be, then you can shift the narrative of your life and say, wait, then let me tailor my life to be prepared for what I'm not prepared for. And that can sound strange. What does that look like? And like, I don't want to give hypotheticals. Like, the reality is that means I always have money set aside because I never know what unexpected problem, opportunity is coming. So versus waiting on a moment to make a vision board, I already budget for a board I don't even know is coming. Okay. Does that make sense?
It absolutely does. To me, it does.
That's
expect the unexpected. Always be prepared because you never know what's going to come.
Exactly. So that's how I've curated my life. I'm not waiting for a special event to have a suit prepared. Just like today, we were joking because I didn't know what to put on. My car keeps a few outfits. Because I don't know. So versus saying, hey, Q, what should I do? I'm going to get there. I'm going to see the set. Bet. What are we ready? Not let me call a stylist, let me go back. No, I've prepared my life for whatever comes. And unless I communicate it, you would always think I was prepared.
Very, very true. I mean, because people have their perceptions based off of social media.
Of course.
And you see certain things and you like, oh yeah, this fella, this cat always comes out prepared pretty much. But you never know the truth unless you're having the conversation.
For sure.
So,
For sure.
Okay, experiencing the things, the trauma, the trouble, the things that you went through as a youngster, not in the city of Atlanta, I'm assuming.
Connecticut? Well, no, there's been Atlanta things, but I'm from Connecticut.
What part?
I was born in New Britain, Connecticut.
Nope, never heard it. The only thing I know is Hartford. What we know, Hartford?
No. So not too far from Hartford, but I was raised in the Norwich, New London area, which is south of Hartford, maybe about an hour.
Where Diana Ross live?
She was in Connecticut. I just found it out.
I thought she still was. Wherever
I don't know.
Wherever rich people live, whatever's an hour and a half away from
got a
New York.
mansion there.
What's the New Haven?
New Haven,
Hartford, whatever's like an hour or so from New York City.
South is Norwich, New London area.
Okay.
New York is up the street. Like this.
How old were you while you were in Connecticut?
I think we left when I was either 10 or 11, I think.
So are there any things that you remember about being in Connecticut that have kind of helped to form the person that you are today?
Yes. I can go so many different ways. I'll jump here. Y'all probably can't see, but then maybe you can see. This side of my face is a bit more narrow than this side. When I wasn't born this way. And we really don't know what happened. Dermatologists and folks say I was bit by a spider. This was in Connecticut. When I was bit by a spider, it grew, whatever this marking is, poison, I don't know. It grew here and it grew here. So there was like an indentation only here. As the rest of my body grew, wherever this thing spread, it stopped the growth. So this was my face in Connecticut.
Oh, wow.
Now it's slightly darker. Again, y'all probably can't see it, but it's slightly darker. There's feeling like it's a normal face.
Yeah.
Except whatever that I don't have language for, it stopped the growth. That happened in Connecticut. Now, I didn't have the mental capacity, wherewithal. So every picture, if I took a picture, I'm hiding my face like this. I had family members and people called me Two-Face. And that thing hurt. Yes, it did.
Dirty.
Oh, dirty dog. But no, I can genuinely, authentically, from a healed heart, laugh about it now. Because it's pretty funny. I would have said it too. But back then, you don't know.
A youngster.
Right. So imagine, and let me just give context. We're just kind of joking about it. Connecticut is not a black state for the most part. We'll just say that. BLK, not a black state. The most people of color, you might be a supervisor. Own a business, what is that? Property, what is that? You a drug dealer? Like that doesn't happen. So I say that to say, coming from Connecticut to Georgia was a culture shock of confident people of color, business owners. And I'm used to living in a world where I'm really a minority. And my face is like this. And I'm being talked about, not just from random people, but family. Everything in me shut in. Didn't even know it. It was a normal response. You just shut in. So when I came here, I was blown away, but I was also very shy. And people that know me now cannot believe I'm on stages in front of thousands and countries and all of that. It took time.
So what kind of work did you have to do in order to get to that place? Because you were pretty young when that happened. And you're what, almost 50 now?
I'm 54.
Oh, I'm 52.
54, turn 55 tomorrow. Honestly, I just stopped caring. I wish I could say.
Now, okay, how is that? Because I've been trying to wake up and not care about a lot for
It's
the
almost,
last...
I don't know, like I wish, okay, of course, glory to God, like by all means. But I'm a very practical person, like, and I like to say, hey, 1 step, 2 step, 3 step. There was so much that came against me. I was talked about. Then they told me I talked too proper. I got a little southern twang now, but I was very proper, dressed proper, all of that. But you get to a point where it's like, look, this is who I am. This is what I've got. I didn't ask to be here. I didn't ask for none of this. I didn't even ask to move here. Bump all of y'all, you know? And you finally just don't care anymore. And then you start thinking about your attributes. I started thinking about what was I ever complimented for? What was it? My sense of humor, my this, my intellect, my brain power. I don't know. And you just stop caring. And then, of course, my faith in God helped build me. Gotta give a shout to my spiritual mother, Dr. Trim. She really helped me navigate the terrains of complexities and what would look like an issue being a blessing.
Now, did you meet her here or?
I met her here.
Okay.
Yep, 2014, I believe it was.
Okay.
And I don't know. I wish I had a deeper story to share with that, but I don't know. It just clicked one day that this is what you've got. And what will you do with what you've got?
Now, speaking of like doing something with what you have, there is songwriting, there is you being an author, there's you being a pastor. Where did religion start for you in your life?
So, I was raised in it.
Okay.
It wasn't even a choice. I
was church in
Connecticut. St. John's Christian Church, New Life Christian Church, I think is what it was called.
That's the entire name.
But no, 2 different churches.
Oh, okay.
St. John's is where my grandmother and grandfather went. They both were deacons and deaconess in the church. My mom was a praise and worship leader. And if I'm honest, I hated church. I was raised there. Yeah. Me and the first lady, she would drag me into service because I'd be like, I don't want to be here. Yeah, it was bad. I was a rebel. Always been a rebel. And then New Life was another church we went to where I grew. I'm still connected with some of those people. Again, was still shy to myself, but it was instilled. So it was like this, how you tie your shoe. This is what we believe, right? And then it wasn't until we moved here to Atlanta. That's the bad if I want to say something. Well, we used to go to New Birth with Bishop Eddie Long. And I know people look at him crazy now and allegations, truth, false, whatever. But what I will say is I learned a lot from that man. I cannot speak to the personal life. But the Bible, the kingdom of God, principles, I learned a lot. Okay. And I give that man credit. I don't believe in shading people. Yeah, people might have good and bad, but don't act like they never did good either. Right. I learned a lot, and that was a pivotal moment before I even met a Dr. Trim. So again, I was raised in it. I think the difference was moving here is versus Connecticut. Connecticut was, this is just church, what we do. Here, I saw industry in church. Like T.I. would come to church. Yeah. Tyler Perry, Bow Wow and his mom would come to church. Monica, Tiny. Like, that's when I started seeing like these celebrities come to church and they're normal people. And that's when I started learning faith and business and faith and entertainment and that God wants us to have it all.
So for you, when did you get the opportunity or when did you wake up and decide, you know what, I have a word and I want to share it with these people?
So I don't even think I knew I had a word. As I kind of stated, I went through so much stuff that I didn't put myself in. And it kind of became, okay, God, what do you want me to do with this? I'm coming out of this issue. I'm coming out of this trauma. I'm coming out of this that I didn't put myself in, but I came out with a story. So what would you like me to do with the story? And I think that would be the moment now when talking about it that I can say, I knew I had a message. I didn't so much know that in the moment. I just knew I had something that I'm like, what do I do with this? And so then it started coming out by way of speaking at middle schools.
Mm.
Not just faith. And that's one thing about me. Although I am a man of faith, my message is for humanity.
Mm.
And I think that's what sets me apart. And what that means is, and I want to be clear, I am authentic and genuine across the board. But if you tell me you're Baptist, then I will get Baptist vernacular to get the principle to you. If you tell me you're Kojic, sure, then I will take Kojic vernacular to get the same message to you.
Jewish.
If you say
Catholic.
I'm Jewish, what's up? No, I'm playing. I would use that because I understand you have to meet people where they are.
See, and I didn't realize because, like, I may be, like, I guess, spiritual, but not necessarily as religious.
For sure.
So understanding now that all these different religions, you know, they have a different way of putting their message out there.
Exactly. You have religions, and within the faith-based Christian community, you have denominations. And that's where you have the Baptist, Kojic. Then you have non-denomination. And the reality is, in the human experience, you can be a spiritual being having a human experience. The reality is, at this church, in this era, in this whatever, I like this facet of God, but I don't know how I feel about this. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to call myself Baptist. I like this portion, but I don't really agree to this portion, so I'm calling myself this. And that's where all that comes from. And it can go deeper than that, but for the sake of time, that's the way I'll phrase it. And you can go
catch that in his next book entitled
For the Sake of Time. But then even with some religions, if you look at some religions and cultural expressions, mm-hmm. if you really look, the majority of us actually believe the same thing. How you go about it is different. Here's what I mean. I recently was in Dubai and had a conversation with a Syrian man. Let's go. But no, had a conversation with a Syrian man who had tears in his eyes about how much he wants to come to America. And with our current context of things, feared that he would never be able to come. Mm. These are things we know and see on social media, but just like we're sitting here eye to eye having a conversation, I literally have been to Canada, Italy, London, Amsterdam, like different places.
I'm sorry. I don't want to cut you off, but next time you plan a trip, I would like to go.
I got you. I got you. But when you actually sit and realize we all wear clothes.
We're all the same.
The fabric of the clothing might be different. The pattern on the clothing might be different, but we all wear clothes. Here it is. As humans, white, black, gay, straight, Kojic, Baptist, atheist, we gotta eat or you're gonna die. But the way you season your food and the way I season mine is different, but they still have nutrients. Right?
True.
We all want love. We all want a vacation. I don't know, but where you desire to go might be different from where I desire to go, but it's still a human desire. So I say that to say, and this is my life's mission and purpose, as a man of faith, I am a man that says, let's find the principle. Let's find the commonality. Mm-hmm. Whoever wants to fight, find somebody else for that. That's not my purpose. Let's maximize where we match, if you will. Mm-hmm. But I'm also the guy that says, let's benefit from our differences. You might say, let's go right because you have a different map. I might say, let's go left because I was raised to go left. But what if the right is faster? If it's not morally and ethically killing me, why isn't that a better way? So I'm just that kind of person. So I say all that to say, to answer your question, it's that perspective that came from trauma, uncertainty, rejection, that made me say, let me see people for who they really are. Mm-hmm. And perhaps my story can help them. And when I became transparent to share mine, my transparency activated their transparency, and we found commonality. And to your word, purpose. Did I answer the question?
That absolutely did, but that also spoke to me in a way. Like I have said before, like I felt my story me sharing my story in a lot of different ways has helped other people
For sure.
share theirs. But my transparency equals transparency.
Yes.
I'm loving that. Now you're an author.
Yes.
And today we are here because we are celebrating yet another piece of work that you have come out with. This is book number
3.
Jesus.
And my 3rd #1 bestseller. I'm gonna brag on myself because I earned it. Dadgummit.
As you should. And it's been out for how long?
That came out I think September of 2024. This is my latest release.
Wow.
Yeah.
A #1. So congratulations on the 3rd #1.
Appreciate it.
How many times have you opened this book since you released it?
Probably 3 or 4 times.
Okay.
And the reason being is because I was either coaching someone that bought it. Here's what happens. That's actually a great question. Whether I'm preaching a message, writing a book, writing a song, writing any type of content, I get revelations at rapid pace that when I release it, I don't go back to it. Unless I'm going to teach from it. That's why even today when we look, I glanced through it again because I'm like, wait. I mean, I know what's in the book, but I was like, let me look at the book again. Because I write and I move on. Like Revelation.
Page 19. Verse 2.
I don't know. This ain't the Bible.
It needs to
be. I need what chapter?
So step into a transformative journey with today's and tomorrow's.
Yes, sir.
And what is the description? You know the first sentence? Do you remember?
I don't know the first sentence.
An enlightening instructional guide penned by the renowned Levi Winston?
Levi
An
Winston.
accomplished interdisciplinarian. It's
hilarious.
on there, people. Google it. That means that an interdisciplinarian means
is an individual that studies all things. That's essentially what it means. And as I was telling you, I can't recall if we were whatever. I have studied and have been trained to be a COO, Chief Operations, and that means I acquiesce to any leader I work with, organization I work with, any life moment, and figure out what are the SOPs, what are the standard operating procedures for this person, this organization. And in life, I'm that person for life.
Yeah.
Who am I to operate as in life? With our new political regimen, I can either crumble or I can say, how do I show up?
I was not built to break, as the
I
late
was
great
not
Whitney
built to
Houston.
break. That's so dumb. I didn't know my own strength. But yeah, so today's and tomorrow, honestly, I love all my books. This one speaks to like the conversation we're having. I've hit a place where, like I said, as a man of faith, as a Christian, I'm not just called to church people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm called to humanity. I don't care who you are, where you're from, what you do, what you believe. I'm still going to meet you where you are and give you principle. After that, if you say, okay, wait, that's different. So with this book, Today's and Tomorrow's, it's a trailblazing guide to unearthing and curating once in a lifetime experiences. I did that, didn't I? That's on the cover. And so, what does that mean? Every single day is a once in a lifetime experience. You might have designed this way today, and it's going to look like this tomorrow. But how you show up in this space tomorrow is not going to be the same way you showed up today. And so, with that said, no matter the ups and downs, the good, the bad, how can you take the terrains of each and every day that you wake up and curate a once-in-a-lifetime experience? Because it is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. So if someone's talking about you, do I waste my once-in-a-lifetime experience clapping back at somebody who doesn't even have legal jurisdiction to do anything to me?
Depending on who it is.
I mean, depending on who it is.
Depending on who it is. But of course not.
But that's what the book's about. We know your today is your today, your tomorrow is your tomorrow. But then the other thing is, what can I do today that will prophesy my tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
What you eat today determines how your health will be tomorrow. The conversation you have today will determine your intellect for tomorrow. The application you submit today will determine the potential of a job tomorrow. The person, place, or thing you cut off today determines the new standard of your tomorrow.
That you're going to receive tomorrow.
So it's a very simple concept. But in this particular book, we go deeper. I go as deep as even on a scientific level and talking about the equator and how where you live and your proximity to the sun determines how you're going to show up to tomorrow. So I go on and on and on and on and on. But ultimately, the nucleus of this book is, what can you do today to maximize your 24 hours to shift the narrative of your tomorrow for the better?
I found a quote for us to end with.
So yeah.
Now, for you, what got you to this? Like, did you wake up and say, you know what, I'm going to write a guide about yada, yada, yada? How did you get to the place where this was like in your mind to do?
So I get these random moments of inspiration. And to answer your question, I trust my random, what's the word I want to find? I trust my random unctions.
Mm-hmm.
That other people around me might not understand. I'll start researching, looking stuff up. Why did I get that thought? But I trust my unctions, right? I was teaching a series called Todays and Tomorrows.
Okay.
And I only teach for about an hour. I don't try to do too much for people. Sunday morning, 8 a.m., we get in, we get out, go to brunch, go work out, go live your best life. No. Here's the revelation, going about your life. Go do laundry, go be with your kids.
Right.
That's how I am. If you want more, book a coaching session. But that's neither here nor there. But I say that to say, I was teaching a message 2 weeks in a row, Todays and Tomorrows, and concepts about it, and maximizing your day, maximizing your time, one life to live. I couldn't shake it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like 1 hour is not enough. And literally, I said, let me start writing. So I took the messages I prepared and I put it in the book. And the more I thought I was done with one concept, I got another one and another one and another one. And I wrote this book in probably about a month's time. I've never wrote a book so fast.
Wow.
I think I wrote it in there. It came out in September. And I think I started writing it in August. I think, somewhere like that. It's like in the preface or something. And I said that because I also want to say this. When you are inspired, stop waiting. When you are inspired to write a song, have a conversation, do it. Because I promise you, you will do more with inspiration than you will do with trying to say, I'm going to set this moment and this time aside. It literally flowed out of me to the point where, honestly, I know what the book's about, but when I do go back and look at parts, I'm like, I wrote that? I don't remember.
So it wasn't you.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't you.
And that's why when people say, is there a God? For me, I know there is, because it's these moments. Even when I released this, I was in California doing 3 speaking engagements back to back to back. Before I left my hotel room, there was no promo. There was nothing. I felt the Lord told me, release it now.
Before you left the hotel room?
Yes. I was in the bed. I hit submit, publish now. I sent an email to my email list and I posted a picture of the cover. I said, hey, y'all, I got a new book. Shut my laptop and I went to my speaking engagement. That was on a Saturday, I think. And then like the next day I was flying home and I was in Arizona or something. And I felt, look at your phone. I looked at my phone. It said, your book is a top seller. Like, this is insane. Got on my flight. Got back to Atlanta. Drove back home. Sat on the couch about to take a nap. I unctioned again, said, look, go look at your book. It said #1 bestseller. I said, this is bananas.
I need to borrow your email
This
list
is
when
bananas.
I decide to become an author, please, because, whoa.
You know,
that is amazing.
But even that is a testament to whatever you do today, whatever you do in this moment. Yes, there's marketing. Yes, there's branding. Yes, you can look at social media and it'll tell you these are the times to post on Facebook. Here's the times to post on Instagram. Look at all of that. But trust your intuition.
Trust your unction.
Trust your unction.
Your unction won't steer you wrong.
Because each of my books going #1 independently. No publishers.
Yeah.
No major endorsements. I don't come from a whole lot of money and all that. God's been good to me, praise God. But it ain't even that. It's not. This photo shoot was with a photographer I don't even normally work with. My normal photographer got sick, couldn't shoot me. That same day I called somebody else. I said, hey, I need a photo shoot. They said, hey, when do you want to book? I said, well, can you do it today? They're like when? I was like, in an hour. Oh. Just as I came here, they were closing the car.
You came prepared.
Yeah. And they was like, bro, give me 2 hours. I said, I will be in the parking lot. You let me know when you're ready.
Oh, man.
Shot the cover. Another friend of mine, hey, I need a cover design. When do you need it by? I need it in 2 days. Sir. I said, what's your what do you call it? Your expedient fee.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. I need the cover.
And this is the third
number one selling book.
Now, tell us about the first two books.
So the first book is called Young Sir, 12 Principles for Becoming a Man of Character, Commitment, and Courage. That's a book for young men. As I stated, I grew up without a father in my life. And again, trauma, issues, right? Yeah. I decided that as I have to now become a man without a father in my life, here's my journey. And I documented the things I did, putting myself through school, buying my own first car, understanding my voice as a man. And I turned it into a book because here it is again.
A best-selling.
Praise God.
Book.
Best-selling book. Yeah. Now, here's the caveat. That book didn't go number one when I first released it. Mm-hmm. My second book, which is more of a manual, was for the faith-based community called Rule by Decree. Rule by decree, historically, is a negative term that people like Adolf Hitler used that basically said in the midst of war, I was about to say something shady, but I stopped myself. But in the midst of war, I don't need approval from government and legislation. I can say this is what I want and I get it. Mm. But in that same context, what if we took that context and said, this is my day and I'm going to live it?
Despite what anybody else has to say.
And so I took that negative term and turned it into a declaration for my life. Today, I'm going to rule by decree. This is my life. I don't care who comes and goes. I'm going to live it. It's going to be peaceful regardless. And so I wrote in there, and it's very short, bullet pointed, straight to the point, from a faith-based perspective and a human experience of this is how you rule your day. This is how you command your day. This is how you live your best life. That book was the first one to go number one. After that, Young Sir went number one. And then I wrote this. So
you know what? I just realized. Never mind. We'll talk about that later.
Speak low.
When you were coming out with the second book, we actually did an interview.
That is right.
We did. And yeah,
that's the last time I saw you.
Still waiting on my signed book.
Well, I got this one for you.
And that was how long ago? Because that had to be at least 6.
Young Sir came out in 2018. So yeah, it had to be 6 years because Rule by Decree was 2019.
Okay, yep. So it was around that time. So about
5 or
6
6
years ago.
Yeah.
Because I remember exactly where we were. I remember the moment. However,
I ain't seen you in 6 years. We done went through a whole pandemic.
I feel like we've seen each other.
We did, because I forget the guy's name. I don't even know if you saw me. I saw you. I forget the guy's name. I feel like he released a book or something. You interviewed him. I remember. I forget.
We almost had 100 interviews.
Right. I know.
Who did I
interview? Like, I don't know. That's what it was. You, and that was still probably 4 years ago. Because I feel like that was before the pandemic too. But that's neither here nor there. And I forget his name.
You said a guy released a book.
Cleaning guy. He cleans. He has got a cleaning company.
Marcus,
that's
the
his name.
Cleaning guru.
That's him.
Yes,
wasn't it a book?
I killed my boss or something like that. Yes, that was the name of his book.
That's what it was.
Boss. Yeah, and
that's what it was.
I hosted his Q&A session at his event. Okay, now that was
right. That's what I'm saying. That was before the pandemic. I think
because my cousin. That was 3 years ago.
Yeah,
that wasn't before. It was after because Atlanta didn't experience the pandemic. We shut down 4 weeks.
Right.
I think that was it. But I remember that. God, must do better.
Right. And I didn't speak to anybody much. I snuck in to support, and I went out. That's why I said I don't know if we talked. I don't even know. I saw you doing your thing, and in my head I said, look at Q doing this thing. And then I left and moved on with life.
And 3 years later we come back to that.
Yeah, man.
So for you, putting these thoughts down on paper, releasing these thoughts to the public in hopes to encourage, inspire, educate, and make them greater people. When you sit back at night, not, reveling over the fact that it's gone, number one, but the fact that so many people supported it. And I'm pretty sure you get comments, this word helped me, that helped me. Yeah. Like how, as a person who has gone through trouble, trauma, trials, how does that impact you now, knowing that the things that you've gone through and the things that you've released have helped so many people?
I think of a phrase from the Clark sisters, their famous song, when they said, "Is my living in vain?" And at the end of the song, they say, "No, of course not. It's not all in vain." So when I see the comments, the number ones, and again, from a business perspective, of course, yes, love it. But that's not even it. It's the fact that my trauma created a testimony or a lesson, and you got it. Yeah. You got it. One of the ladies who I coach called me Sunday, and what was supposed to be a 15-minute call turns like an hour, and I'm at the gym working out. She's like, "Are you working out?" I said, "Yeah." She's like, "Why don't you tell me you can hang up?" I was like, "Nope, this is a moment." And she's like, "I need you to understand every story you share with me, every book you write, everything you share, I am writing notes, and you have literally changed my life. That makes me feel like I have fulfilled my purpose." Now, I still have a whole life to live, but our world is crazy. Yeah. I can honestly say, God forbid, I know my time's not up right now, but if I were to die today, I would be okay with knowing I left these books, my music, and my messages behind. Ooh. And here's why I can say I'm okay. Because it's authentic. It's not phony. I didn't copy anybody. If this is it, I've given 130% of who I am now. Yeah. And if that's it, I'm okay with that. Again, definitely have goals, dreams, aspirations, and I know it's not it. But when you ask, when I go to sleep at night, how do I feel? I feel fulfilled.
That is a beautiful feeling.
The money is a bonus. The relationships are a bonus. Dude, it's an outer body, like, yeah, especially, here in Atlanta, be like, "Well, I was on this magazine." Those things are fickle to me. They're blessings. Yeah. I welcome it. Sure. But to know that people were lost, and with your words, they now have direction. And when you understand, even like with this show, people will go back and watch each episode, whether it be for me, whoever else you've interviewed, whatever, and something you've said, I've said, and they're like, wow. That's why I don't worry about, like with the first book, it didn't go number one when I first released it. The goal is not number one. The goal is impact.
Yes.
If I impact one, then to me, the book is number one. But if that one turns to thousands, and on a chart, the chart wants to recognize the impact, then great. I will take that. I'm not going to act like I don't want it. I will take it. But that, man, to know that if this was my last breath, I'm still alive.
Always.
That for me, and I don't know where I've gotten this old soul from with that, but that, to know my nieces and nephews, even if I wasn't here, can pick up my material and figure out who their uncle was, who their coach was, that to me, I get chilled like that. I don't know, that's not religion, that's not finance, that's purpose. That, whatever you do, if you could come up with a concept of a car and then you're not here, but people still want that make and that model, that's everything to me.
Wow.
I created this design. I'm not even here and y'all still like that design? You won. You won.
That is deep.
Does that make sense?
Like I'm sitting here and like on the inside, I'm screaming like a little young person. Because I understand that. Like, you may not have accomplished everything that you set out in your heart to accomplish, but, you know, and I'm probably going to sit up and think about this, you know, as I reflect on my new year of life, as my birthday comes very soon.
52.
But just, 52. You know, I can't wait to be 54 like you.
Listen, God.
But just realizing that the things that we've gone through, you know, we've been placed in a space where we can share it with somebody else, inspire, encourage, and educate. And then because of those experiences, there are platforms that we have created, or been a part of, or whatever it is, where our stories have been fortunate enough to be told by us. And nobody else can take that away from you. And even if the good Lord decides that tonight is the night,
for a good night, I'm sorry,
then tomorrow you still live on. Because
and that's the concept of the book. But in general, beyond the book, what can you do today that even in death you'll live tomorrow? Ho! But man, like, I don't know, like, you asked the question about, like, how do you know? I don't know. Like, yeah, it's God, but it's like, my desires are different. Like, yeah, red carpets, all those things are great, but to know that in whatever I have, I maximize it. I say it humbly, but confidently. This is a good book. And I know, like, for real, I tell anybody, I don't care your walk of life, when you read it, save it, read it. I don't mean read it.
Read the book. Where can they get it so that they can read it?
Amazon.com. That's the best place to get it. There's a digital version and a hard copy, but get the hard copy, because even at the end of the book, I added a 20-day devotion to help prompt you. Yeah, it's a devotional as well. There's 20 promptings to help you maximize your day, see yourself the way God intended, etc. But this book's different. This one's different. And I'm sure when I release the next, I'll say the same thing. But my assignment is clear in this book. My mission is clear in this book. And as I said, I am here to help humanity.
In any and everything you do.
That's it. If you want it Kojic, I'll give it to you Kojic. I promise you, I can take this book and preach it. Or we can have a talk and I'll talk it. Or I can make a song and I'll sing it. Because my message is the same. So for all those listening, find your message, find your niche, find your oomph. And however you have to display it in a song, in a book, in a podcast, in an interview, in your body language. Let your body language tell a story.
And tell the people where they can, you told them where they can find the book, but where can they find you? Where can they book a session? Where can they come and hear you?
Yes, so I hate to say like Google me, but no, for real. You can type in Levi Harrell, humbly. LeviHarrell. And you will see the link for my coaching sessions, whether it be for business, life, whatever. On Amazon Music or wherever you get your music from, YouTube, Spotify, same thing. Type in my name, you'll see my songs on there. Just type in my name, literally Levi Harrell, and you'll see the books on Amazon. It'll pull it all up. Also social media, at Levi Harrell, Facebook, Levi Harrell. If you DM me, give me grace to respond. Like Q gets special treatment. I know who he is. If I see his name pop up, I'm gonna respond. But sometimes I'll be like, hold on, I don't know who this is. But no, like, there's no assistant answering my stuff. If you send me a prayer request, if you're transparent with me privately, it sticks with me. I don't run and tell nobody's business. I don't care how gruesome you think it is or nasty you think it is. There is nothing you can tell me that would surprise me. I've been around for a long time, seen a lot, heard a lot.
Yeah. I
am here to cover you, protect you, and enlighten you.
And I mean, that is like the perfect way to end the conversation. But no, it's not. Because I marked this. Because we're going to go ahead and read this part. as we wrap up. But before I do, I would like to thank you
Yes, sir.
for coming on, educating, inspiring, encouraging. And you spoke something into me by speaking about yourself and your experience.
Yes, sir.
So it just further lets me know that what I'm doing by having these conversations with you, for you, you know, we're out here doing something
for sure
that means something.
Yes, sir.
To people. And I appreciate you guys for always tuning in. Hopefully making us number one on YouTube or something like that very soon. But you know, no rush. No
It'll happen.
rush.
It's gonna happen.
But as we close, I'd like to share with you a little excerpt from page 36. And the chapter is entitled Protecting and Cultivating the Initiator's Space. Additionally, surround yourself with a tribe of like-minded individuals who uplift and encourage your ambitions. I was about to keep going, but their what? Oh, I know that word. Their camaraderie serves as a protective shield, deflecting negativity and reinforcing your resolve to pursue your dreams. Engage in regular check-ins with yourself. Ask if your current commitments serve as your goals or if they're merely distractions. This self-awareness can act as a compass, guiding you back to your path whenever you veer off course. So,
my God,
check yourself, reflect yourself, and become the best version of you. And if you need a little help, you can go ahead and Google this man and grab your copy of today's and tomorrow's. And tune in to another episode of BLK Talk very soon.
I love it.